Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Colleen Sprow, and I'm here to moderate a panel on behalf of the Saskatchewan Career Development Association. This panel is being hosted, as you know, by ICT SaskJobs. So thank you so much for the opportunity to be here today. I wanted to just welcome everyone and thank you for joining us. Today at our event, we will have a panel of representatives from 4 different organizations that provide career services in Saskatchewan. And you'll get a chance to hear about the programs that they offer to help connect you to opportunities to learn more about how to develop your career and your life here in Saskatchewan. So before I begin, I want to just start off by saying, again, a welcome and to recognize that I'm situated today on Treaty 4 lands. These are the traditional lands of the Cree, Saulteaux, Dakota, Lakota, and the homeland of the Métis Nation. And today those lands continue to be shared territory of many diverse peoples from near and far. I just wanted to let everyone know as housekeeping items that everyone is muted except for the panelists today. There is a Q&A box where you can ask questions, and once the organizations have the opportunity to introduce themselves and talk a little bit about the programs and services that they offer, you will have the opportunity to ask some questions at the end. If you do have questions, just pop them in the chat box there and we will do our best to get to the questions. All the questions will be answered at some point, so if it's not today live in the webinar, just know that someone from SaskJobs will reach out to you and strive to answer all the questions that are posed today. And without further ado, I would love to move on and give the panelists an opportunity to introduce themselves. So again, we have 4 career practitioners here who work in different organizations and providing different types of services across the province. I'd like to start out with Daniel Skabinski, who works with SaskJobs Career Services. So Daniel, if you could tell me a little bit about your organization and what's your mandate, how do you serve people who are searching for jobs in Saskatchewan? And I guess a little bit about yourself and what your role is within that organization as well.
Fantastic. Thank you, Colleen, and thank you everyone for joining today. This is a really exciting event. So like I said, Daniel Skabinski, I'm a career service consultant at SaskJobs Career Services. Our goal and mandate is to provide career services all across Saskatchewan and work with Saskatchewan residents to achieve their training and their career goals. And thank you so much, and happy to be here.
Thanks, Daniel. I'll pass it over to you, Saima.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. This is Saima Shepi from Regina Open Door Society Employment Services. Thank you for giving us this opportunity, as well as thank you to all who are listening today. So Regina Open Door Society Employment Services, the goal and the mandate of this department at Regina Open Door Society is to help newcomer clients and refugee clients with their employment goals. And our role is to facilitate this goal by providing them different opportunities in form of employment readiness workshops, in form of counseling sessions for them arranged, and more specifically employment counseling sessions arranged for them. So we have like a dedicated team of instructors and counselors who help them in facilitating their employment search. In addition, we have also different type of programs to enhance their skills, and so that they can develop those skills, they can develop those hard as well as soft skills according to Canadian labor market. We also, in addition to helping them with their skill development, we also provide them through certain programs, we also provide them with work placement opportunities as well, so that all the learning that they have developed over a period of time, they can get an opportunity to actually, bring in use all the learning that they have achieved through, exposure to a workplace environment. So in addition to all those programs, we also help them in providing them an opportunity to network with our employers community through different networking events, as well as through our mentorship programs and our annual job fair event as well. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Saima. And I can't wait to hear more about those programs a little bit on in this here. It sounds like you all have some really great opportunities.
For sure, yes.
Yeah, so Janet, can you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your organization?
Sure. My name is Janet Uchaz-Hart. I'm the Executive Director of the Saskatoon Industry Education Council. We're an organization primarily working with K-12 education, knowing that your future workforce is sitting in a classroom somewhere throughout the province. We provide career exploration and skill development opportunities and programming for young people, both in the Saskatoon region, and many of our programs actually are now provincial as well. Last year, we worked with over 60,000 youth. We worked with 2,000 educators and 555 employers and post-secondary institutions. So we have a number of programs, 40 different programs and events every year. You can find us at saskatchewan.ca. But also for this presentation, we also have a career management website, and that is contact360.ca. And we have just released our new Relevance magazine. So many of you might see that one that just is hot off the press. And the new one should be in nonprofit organizations, at career centers and post-secondary institutions all across the province. And if you need some, let us know. And lastly, we also have a Contact Conference, is our career practitioner, educator, counselor, employer conference that we put on every year. It has been online for the last 2 years, and we are happy to announce that we will be in person again, April 25th and 26th in Saskatoon, and Contact will be up and running again, and hopefully you can all attend.
Awesome. Thank you, Janet. And last but not least, I'd like to hand it over to Brooklyn Baldwin-Fluke to talk a little bit about the programs and services at Wright Construction.
Yeah, so hi everyone, I'm Brooke. I'm the HR coordinator here at Wright Construction. A little bit about our company. So basically we are a construction company. So we perform general contracting, design, build, public-private partnerships, and construction management services across commercial, institutional, and industrial environments. So we have job sites across Western Canada, essentially all the way from BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and into Manitoba as well. So we have quite a few different job sites that you might see us. Currently, we're doing quite a few sites in schools, so institutional. So we have our Langdon School in Alberta. We have a school in Carrot River. So we're always looking to hire skilled individuals to help us get those projects and help young professionals in their experience and grow their skill sets to get to where they need to be for job sites and grow them as a person. So
that's really exciting. Thank you all for that introduction to yourselves and your organizations and what you're representing today. I know that it's going to be a really valuable time to learn about the services, and hopefully people can connect to your organizations and to the services that you're providing. So on that note, I'm going to kind of turn it towards some of the questions. So this will be a little bit of an opportunity for each organization to give a little bit more of an in-depth discussion on how your organization can help members of the audience today to achieve their career and training goals. So I'm going to start with you, Daniel. Can you take a little bit of time to dive into the key SaskJobs career services programs and anything that you feel that is really worth highlighting for those in the audience that are job seekers and wanting to connect with SaskJobs?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Colleen. And again, thank you everyone for being here today. 1 second here, I'm just pulling up my notes. So essentially, at SaskJobs Career Services, our main goal is to help the people of Saskatchewan acquire meaningful careers all across the province, as I said earlier. We are committed to helping all Saskatchewan people reach their education and employment goals. When you speak to one of our consultants in person, over the phone, or virtually, as mentioned in that great infographic beforehand, the main concepts that you'll kind of dive into with your consultants kind of revolve around the career planning, job searching, job matching, and job training aspects, and funded job training aspects. We can look into that as well. So in regard to the career planning, we know that maneuvering through a career is a lifelong journey, right? And some clients are just starting their careers. Some clients are 10, 20, 30 years into their career already. And we always strive to meet our clients where they're at in their career journey. And we always focus on that client-centered approach and relationship building. You know, not everyone comes into a government office with the best energy, and sometimes there's a level of mistrust there. So really building that cooperation and that working relationship is something that we strive to do. And one of the first acts of business is to find out what our clients' needs are, what their wants are regarding their career, and examine the different routes and possibilities on how to get there, right? Our consultants are here to try to understand where you are at currently and where you want to go, as well as providing feedback based on, you know, the current economic climate and Saskatchewan's current labor market information. Career planning is always done in collaboration, but as stated previously, it's always client-centered, okay? And a lot of organizations here will definitely echo that. We can also help, as I said, with job searching and job matching. So in regards to job matching, I'm constantly online at saskjobs.ca, looking at all the new openings that may fit my clients. And when you see one of our consultants, don't be surprised if they, you know, encourage you to quickly apply to these new job postings. It's crazy how you can just apply quickly at an opening that fits you with a little bit of, you know, advice from a consultant and just nab a job real quick. We have success stories all across the province that way. We're always trying to match our clients with jobs in their field. Job searching, you know, the foundation of a good job search is a good resume and good cover letter building. We can help you review your resume, cover letter, help you tailor specifically your resume and cover letter to a job of interest. Okay, this is something a lot of clients miss, is the tailoring of their resume and the direction to really capture the essence of a job and put it on paper and use their skills and put their best foot forward and present themselves in a way that the employer you know, wants to see. They want to put them in the chair and get them the interview, right? So we help strategize around that. And with those transferable skills that are sometimes hidden to our clients, you know, these transferable skills always add value to the applications. For interviews, we always book time to sit down with our clients to do mock interviews, to ask specific questions, and maybe even the more tricky behavioral based interview questions, which, you know, sometimes sideline people. So getting comfortable with those ideas in the interview process is something that is really important to me and to our staff here. The overarching concept around the job search process with my clients is that I want them to exit our meetings feeling empowered, confident, you know, about their job search, and feel like they can accomplish their goals. And it happens all the time. It's a beautiful thing to see. It really is. Just with a little bit of advice and a little bit of direction, it's amazing to see. So in regard to job training, this is a big topic, right? Career services, we have agreements with regional colleges all across Saskatchewan, okay? All across Saskatchewan, and a few of them include Saskatchewan Polytech, SIIT, Parkland College, Cumberland College, Carleton Trail College. We have, you know, funding agreements with these colleges. And there's more there that I cease to have added to my list here. We also have agreements with many organizations, a couple of them here today, that can help you with job training for more specific and to more individual needs for Saskatchewan's residents. So we partner with a variety of organizations that help job training, that have job training programs for people with disabilities, job training programs for newcomers to Canada, and including like the settlement services and English lessons and job training programs that Saima is going to speak about. Job training programs for digital literacy. So really anything from, you know, potentially a diploma to typing classes. We can look at options for training, and the list goes on. So, I mean, the main idea that I want to put across here is that I want to promote to get in touch with us at Career Services so we can see exactly what training options there are for you based on your own personal employment goals, and using that client-centered model to help you achieve your goals. We want to, you know, use the information and the collaboration to refer you to the best fitting education program that we have to offer based on your needs. So with that said, I know that there in the infographic, there was our phone number. Maybe we can pin it in the chat, but we can be reached at 1-833-613-0485. And that's all for now. Look forward to your questions, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks so much.
Thank you for sharing, Daniel. And I know that you have such holistic services there, and you can even connect people to other service providers that are more specific to their needs. But I think it's really just starting somewhere and putting that foundational work into resumes and cover letters, and then reaching out to understand a little bit more about yourself, your needs, what might work for you. But the first thing, like you said, is a phone call and getting connected and starting. So I'm really glad to hear about all of those opportunities for people. And again, just start somewhere, get connected, and start asking the questions, because that you never know where that might lead you. Like you said, sometimes it happens really quickly. Sometimes it's a little bit of a journey, but it's all about starting that path and asking the questions. If you're curious, if you're thinking about job changes, if you're thinking about a new career, if you just really want to get started, if you're not happy where you're at, maybe you're happy but you'd like to grow some more, those are all opportunities for you to get connected and to start on that career. So thanks again for sharing. Next, I want to turn it over to Saima. Again, we all know Saima introduced herself at the beginning, is with the Regina Open Door Society. So Saima, can you tell us a little bit about the Regina Open Door programs and services, and anything that you really think would be worth highlighting to audience members, ways they can connect with Regina Open Door, and opportunities to help them advance their career?
Thank you, Colleen. So yes, at Employment Services of Regina Open Door Society, as I mentioned earlier, that our main clientele is newcomer immigrants. So majority of the newcomer immigrants, when they land in Canada, Regina, the main thing that we have observed is, from employment perspective, we have observed that there are certain employment challenges that they come across. And if I enlist them over here, like the basic thing is their lack of information towards, what path they should choose. What is the best practice in terms of Canadian workplace culture? What are their rights and their responsibilities? What are their competencies, and what are their, or a difference between a competency and an attitude? Like the countries that they are coming from. I'm also an immigrant, and when I landed in Canada, for me, hard skills, they were taking precedence over the rest of the things. So This is what we have observed, that the hard skills, as they take precedence over soft skills, for them over here, this is very difficult to understand, how soft skills they hold an important position. They have a great role over here. So their lack of understanding towards, the importance of soft skills, and then, what is the job market landscape in terms of, what are regulated professions, what are the licenses and certifications that are required for those regulated professions, what are the professional associations, again, what are the trends in the industry, different events that are occurring in the employers community, so that they can network with them. What are basic job search techniques, like in terms of, as Danielle mentioned, the foundation of job search is the resume. So what are those job search strategies that can help them in landing, even a job interview? So like a good piece of resume, a good convincing, persuading cover letter, how their social media in terms of their LinkedIn profile should look like, that could, attract the employers towards their profile. What are those different job search tools? What is the concept of hidden job market, and what is the passcode for the hidden job market? And, what is the importance of professional networks? What are the different unions that are working in the employers or community in that labor market? So they have, lack of information around all these concepts. In addition, there is another challenge that they face, and that challenge is lack of Canadian experience. They are coming with number of years of experience from back home, but because they don't have experience over here, it is difficult for them to tap into the labor market. Or like, for example, even to an extent that they don't have the Canadian references, or these are those things that they have main challenges with. Now, as an employment services, we try our level best to facilitate newcomer immigrants to understand and develop the understanding about all these concepts. So in order to help them, we offer all these services through our different programs. Some of those programs are categorized under skill development, and some of these programs are work placement programs. So in our skill development programs, there are, like, generally speaking, the first stop, I would say, for any client would be a counseling session with our employment counselors, where they will have, a meeting with the counselor in which the counselor is going to assess their employment goals, identify, the required, they would identify the gaps between their skills, what should be the right path for them, how long that realistically that path would take for them to pursue. What are the community resources that they could be, introduced to, so that they can reach out to them and start, working on their employment goals. Would look through their applications, would look through their marketing tools, and assess if they need further development, further understanding towards them, so then tomorrow they can work on it independently. So this is, like a complete counseling session that happens, and this gives a very good idea to those clients to understand where they are standing, and how much effort would be required towards achieving their employment goals. So then employment counselors, depending on the needs of the client, would also send them to different employment readiness workshops that are offered at employment services, and all those readiness workshops mainly focus on development of their employability skills, as well as development of their marketing tools, such as a resume workshop, cover letter workshop. We also provide the workshops about workplace culture and what is the ways of communicating in Canadian labor market. Then we also provide a workshop about, I would say, a comprehensive workshop about job search strategies and how they can, actually use those job search strategies to find jobs independently. In addition, we provide, a very detailed workshop about developing interview skills, and then, give our clients an opportunity to be mock interviewed with our external mock interview coaches, as well as, the different other staff team members who could also help them in running those interviews. So these are those different workshops related to our employment readiness that we provide. Now, we also come across those newcomer immigrants who have a lot of digital literacy, I would say, reluctance, hesitancy, and challenge. So in order to facilitate them, we provide them the digital literacy workshops as well, in form of, Word, Microsoft Word, Excel, basic computer skills, typing, keyboarding. So these are those different workshops related to digital literacy that we provide. We have also, those other programs. In addition to this, we have other programs such as, like English for Employment program, which is mainly focused at developing the industry-specific language for our immigrants. So, and through that program, we offer, different programs based on different industries and their demand, their scope, and their popularity. So, for instance, those sessions would be around hospitality and housekeeping, childcare services, educational assistant. Other than that, customer service, retail, front desk. So these are those occupations that are, in demand at all times. So we equip our clients to have a good understanding of the jargon that is used in that industry, help them in, getting equipped with some certifications, such as first aid certification, personal care worker certification, food safe level 1, which is, industry appropriate, and also, kind of provide them with the job shadowing opportunities as well, where we kind of engage them with the employers and who host their job shadowing. So this kind of give them.
Yeah, sorry, Simon, that I was going to say that's so good because
Yes.
it really gives people the opportunity to connect with employers.
Yes.
And
Yes.
a couple other things that I wanted to kind of highlight is that you talked about just beginning with that employment counselor. And
Yes.
I think it's so important because everyone's journey is so unique, right? So some might have highly skilled, feel really confident with digital, and you can support them. Some of them might, want to begin with some language training, like you said, specific industry and occupation, those specifics. So you kind of serve newcomers across the board. So the really skilled workers all the way to the people who might be just beginning, wanting some language, things like that. And then just helping people get confidence in the soft skills and just learning to market themselves, because a lot of people come with a lot of really important and valuable experience, but need the just knowledge and know-how of how does it work in Canada so that they can market themselves properly and really get responses, I think, to the application. So so that's really great. So I want to give Janet and Brooke an opportunity to speak, but Simon, we're going to circle back to you because I know already there's questions coming in on the chats from people who are newcomers. So I'm just going to pause for one moment and then give Janet the opportunity to kind of talk about the SIEC programs and services that are available for people who are in the audience.
Sure. I'm learning lots today. This is amazing. So thank you for the opportunity. I just also want to mention too that we're in Saskatoon, but there also is a Regina counterpart, the Regina District Industry Education Council, and they provide many of the same things that we do as well. And we continue to partner together moving forward into the future here as well. So I'll highlight a couple of things because we are primarily K-12. There are lots of resources that are available to anybody in the province. And some that, and if you are a student in K-12 in the Saskatoon region, there are some things that are specific. So for example, we do a number of boot camps for students. We have 10 of them, I think, between now and next semester coming up. I think there's quite a few in tech, 3 of them specifically. So 3D printing, gaming, and web development. But we also have machining and welding and industrial mechanics and auto body and automotive. So those are specifically for grade 11 and 12 students in the Saskatoon region. I know Regina has some as well, but that is where you can develop some quick skills and just see if it's something you're really interested in. And sometimes they say, no, I'm really not interested, right? And so we also do hair aesthetics and also culinary. And just a story from that, we just had a young girl who was going to register for hair and aesthetics training and spend probably $20,000. And then she realized that she really likes to do hair and makeup, but really she doesn't want to do it on anybody. She just realized that, right? So we see those stories over and over again with all the experiential learning opportunities that we do. We also have a Spotlight on Careers program, and through COVID, of course, we were shut down in terms of going to do some experiential opportunities with many businesses around Saskatoon region. But what we were able to do is then, of course, the word pivot and go online. And we have a number of recorded sessions from our post-secondary institutions, our industry info that is on the saskatchewan.ca website with over 10 different sectors. So we always are getting new people that are looking at that all on those resources. And again, we're working again to update those this year. But if you are looking for what does it take to be in healthcare and all the different careers, we have post-secondary institutions that are providing that information to you. We also are involved in mental health. As we know, there are lots of mental health challenges with our K-12, with our educators, our parents, our teachers. And so we have a Mind Over Matters program, which is also featured on SIEC site. And if you struggle with anxiety, or you have a coworker or a friend or a child or yourself personally, there are lots of different things on that site through Anxiety Canada that can help. Some tools and of the trade, as we also work with K-12 education on many activities around mental health. We also do training in robotics and coding from K-12, and that is throughout the province. And we also provide financial literacy. So if you go on saskmoney.ca, and I can put these, Colleen, in the chat as well. We just finished a series of webinars from CRA webinars to consumer spending, and I think reached over 1,000 students, but these are going to be on the Sask Money website, so that if you're interested in learning more about where your taxes go, or financial planning or anything like that, you're more than welcome to download those and listen to them. We also have a summer youth internship program, which is for, again, K-12, grade 11 and 12 in the trades. Last year, we had over 50 students in that program. And I believe Brooklyn Wright has been a partner with us for 1,000 years. And many of these students become indentured. And so we're quite excited about that opportunity. Now, specifically for people that are looking for additional resources, I did mention before contact360.ca. There are thousands of resources for students, job seekers, educators, and career practitioners. There is, again, we have a program called Employability, which is very similar to everybody else here in terms of resume development and interview skills. There's search tools for job search tools, current trends in the Saskatchewan labor market. I'm just looking at all the different things that are here. And there's also career practitioner developed resources as well for you. When I referred to Relevance Magazine, Amplify Your Career Exploration is this year's magazine. There is a job chart in the middle of the magazine that focuses on over 285 careers, and it talks about what does it talk about? Employment estimates, post-secondary training, where you can get trained, prospects, average wage, all those things. So you can really do a deep dive into each one of those, and they're not code related.
That's awesome.
And
so Janet, I'm gonna just say I want to give Brooklyn a chance to chat here, and then I want to open it up to the questions, because I
Perfect, yeah.
know there's going to be a lot of questions, but if we could share those resources, I'm going to ask our back-end people if they could share the contact and the SIC website, because it sounds like you guys have a lot of really awesome tools. Really, like all of the providers have some great tools. But if we're able to put that in the chat, that would be awesome. And then I'm going to pass it over to you, Brooklyn, because I want to hear about the Wright Construction employment opportunities and your programs that you have, and these are very industry specific. So if you could touch on that, and then we're going to open it up to the Q&A.
Yes, thank you, Colleen. I will try and keep it short and sweet. So obviously, Wright Construction, we're a general contractor. Lots of our main work is in Saskatchewan, and we are looking to find individuals to help shape and grow their careers within the construction industry. So we are looking to invest in our people to ensure our company can be the best it can be. And this really hones in on one of our main values we have at Wright Construction is we put people first. We want to invest in our people so we can be the best we can be. So there are two different avenues for career training goals that individuals can pursue. We have our apprenticeship, so anybody that's looking to go into the trades, and then we have our project managers and our project coordinators, which is more like our architectural engineer side. So to dive into the apprenticeship side of it, so essentially we hire either laborers or we hire apprentices, but we also indenture anybody that's looking to apprentice with us. So after that 3 months, if you're looking to pursue that avenue, you just let your supervisor know, and we take the steps according to ensure that you get the correct information and get that process going. So essentially, we usually go through the SIIT, or Sask Poly is another one, for getting the apprenticeship process started. And then we also take students from the summer youth internship, and we've hired a lot of individuals after that program has been completed. Even some of those individuals started as laborers, worked their way up to apprentices, carpenters, and even are now foremen. So we like to really invest in our people and ensure that that really hones in and builds our company as well. We also work with the Saskatoon Skills and Trade, and we have lots of work placements that work out that we put out permanent offers to as well. And then in terms of our internships from Sask Polytech and the University of Saskatchewan, so that's our architectural department and our engineering side of it. So individuals that are doing internships during their school terms, you're more than welcome to apply. And then we do internships either 3, 6, 12 months, however long your school, I guess, allows it to be. And essentially you get to work one-on-one with a project manager on specific projects to get more real life experience within the industry. And then after school, if it's possible, we usually like to put out contracts afterwards as well. So we like to really invest and really give everybody every opportunity that's possible. As the person that's working for us, they need to be as good as they can be, and we need to invest in them. So we have lots of opportunity to grow, and we really like to share that with our employees to make them the best they can be.
That's awesome. That's so exciting. Thank you so much for sharing, everyone, the details about your programs and services. And we do have questions pouring in, so I'd love to jump right to those. The first question that we have, I think I'm going to direct it to you, Daniel, actually. How to apply for a job that's asking for 2 to 3 years of work experience when they're a recent grad and they have less than 1 year of experience. So what tips would you give to that job seeker who has, you know, a little bit less, like not significantly less, like maybe a year, just graduated, but the job is asking for 2 to 3 years of experience? What advice would you give to them?
Absolutely. I would encourage that client to seek out that job, and don't feel discouraged that it's 3 to 5 years. There's always a shot, right? There's always a shot. So I'm always going to encourage you to seek out that job opportunity. Now, there might be some options in regards to the application process, right? So really diving into your resume and cover letter and making a persuasive argument as why you are the one. Why are you the one to get into that interview chair? So a lot of these big companies too, they have a screening process as well. So they'll have a screening process that sometimes is actually automated. Sometimes it's performed by AI. So even getting your resume to a big employer may be a little bit difficult sometimes, not always, but sometimes. So using key concepts, using key words in your resume and your cover letter is going to be really important to to kind of surpass that initial potential step of being vetted in or out. I would definitely encourage you to continue to apply for that job. The other thing too is employers want to see you staying busy. So if you, in the meantime, you have to take, like a technologist job or something with a little bit less experience, or focus your job search on maybe, if there are, I can look into it. If there are, 1 to 2 year experience, focusing on those two, just to get that little bit of extra experience there. And that'll open the door as well. But also the strategy, the job search strategy of the cover letter and resume is something that I would definitely, have one of our consultants look at. And then maybe we can kind of direct it in a more persuasive manner, obviously not lying on a resume, but make it seem like you're the one. I always tell my clients, why are you the one? Make them believe that you are the one for this job. We can highlight maybe some transferable skills, fill in some things that may be missing, but absolutely apply for it. Absolutely contact us and we can have a further discussion one-on-one.
Yeah, that's a great suggestion, Daniel. And like to what you said, thinking a little bit outside the box of your skills. So if it's asking for 2 to 3 years of experience, look at even volunteer opportunities that people have done, right? And like how some of those skills might be transferable to the job that you're applying for. And yeah, I think absolutely connecting, like we said at the beginning, to some of the resources that are available is really the first step, and just seeking that guidance, but not hesitating to try, right? So that's awesome. I do have a question for you. Someone's on this call asking for their son, who's 9 years old, and they would like to get him registered for robotics and coding. Can you tell them how they might go about doing that?
Well, we do classroom programming. So depending on what school division they're in, their child is in, they could contact that school division or the classroom teacher and just see if they know about SAS code. If they don't, they could contact administration in that school division, and or we have saskcode.ca is our website for all the coding robotics, and they can make an inquiry about that. We work directly with teachers, we train them so it becomes a sustainable program in schools, and not every teacher knows about it. So of course, if they can do that, if they have any problems too, they can also give me a call.
Awesome. So starting with the teachers and then connecting with you to see if there's a way that they can make that happen in their classroom. So that's really exciting.
Yeah.
So Brooklyn, I have a question for you as well here. There's an assistant controller position, and someone is asking about location. Like, would it have to be in Saskatoon? There's no location mentioned on the website. So if someone's interested in a specific position, how can they know like the location or where they might be able to connect there?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. We are kind of a little bit of everywhere. So honestly, we're looking for quite a few locations. So if you're looking to know a specific job, if we're looking for somewhere, it would be best just to reach out to myself. I can always give clarifications. I have an office line that's always open if anybody wants to chat about those details. Mainly, we're looking usually Saskatoon and Regina, but we do have labor positions and apprentices and journey persons all across Saskatchewan and into Alberta. So it just varies on the position. But our head office is located in Saskatoon, and we have an office in Regina that is slowly growing. So we are slowly looking to fill those positions there if you're looking for a specific office job.
We're so lucky to have amazing practitioners that are so willing to reach out and connect with people, and just extending even their own, personal contacts to connect. So thank you all for being so willing. And again, the answer is not specific, but just reach out and connect, because there's lots of opportunities. There's no one answer. It's just a matter of connecting to some of the resources that we have. So thank you so much, Brooke. Simon, I do have a question for you as well. We have someone on the call who is an electrical engineer, so 10 years experience in their home country. So quite a bit of experience, but they really just don't know where to begin. So they're here, they have the experience, but they don't know where to start. So What advice would you give someone who has that experience and knowledge from back home and is now living in Canada, but doesn't know how to start with their career here?
Thank you, Colleen. It's a great question. We usually come across these type of questions. And the best strategy for that individual is to call us 306-352-3521. And we also have, like our website, he can go to our website, the website of Regina Open Door Society, and they can fill out a registration form. However, a quick, I would say, answer for that, or like a quick tip over here would be that we are, and it's so timely, that we are running a webinar and information session for the engineers tomorrow at 12. And, the information is on the website, so they can, registrations are open. He can register and he can find himself sitting in the room with the rest of the engineers who are, in his boat, as well as the engineers who are now, expertise in their field. So they are also going to help him in understanding the processes over here. In addition, once he registers with us, and he meets the employment counselor, we can also direct him to our mentorship program, where he can, be engaged with a mentee from his field, and they can provide them with a lot of information.
That's awesome. That's amazing. So connecting, it sounds like the event, if you can pop the event information in the chat, Saima, that would be perfect. So they know how to connect. Yeah, that's great, to that event. But then also maybe connecting to a mentor. So it sounds like Regina Open Door has the opportunity to connect with people who are currently working in the field, so that they can give you support as you go through that process. It's really exciting. Daniel, I'm circling back to you here. I just was wondering, this is the question. What can someone put on their resume if the position is asking for like a specific licensing or professional accreditation, and that person is in the process of obtaining that, but they don't have it yet? So they want to be, transparent and, like you said, honest on their resume, but they're just kind of like not quite there yet, but in the process. So how do you represent that accurately on a resume?
So it's a great question. I did see in the Q&A there, it was for APEGS, which is a professional designation for an engineer, right? So that's an important one. It's needed to consult, be an engineering consultant. I definitely wouldn't, I wouldn't put down that you have APEGS, but if you're in the process of getting it, that's an important piece to put down. In process of getting your professional designation, that may go a long way. That may, there may be an opportunity within that company for a little bit of coaching and guidance, and maybe we have a smaller position open while you're working on your professional designation. I know, for APEGS, you can still, draft, you can still, be a part of an engineering firm, but you can't consult. So meaning you can't, design and safety things and write things, put your signature at the bottom of it and be that guy for the project. So in process and elaborate on your cover letter, kind of use that reflect on the in process piece in your cover letter, and use your previous experience to add value, and kind of frame your trajectory, where you want to go and where you're going. Providing context, within your professional development. So in process, and maybe there's a way that they could fit you in, and they can coach you and they can move you up the ladder once you get your professional designation.
That's awesome. Yeah, so being honest, it's in progress, noting that on the resume, and again, connecting with others who might be able to support you and mentor you through that process. So great. Brooke, I have a question for you. It's an industry question. So the person on the call here is looking at getting an apprenticeship in construction, but they really just don't know where to get started. Can you give them some advice about starting off an apprenticeship in construction?
Yeah, so there's lots of different ways I guess you could approach it. You could reach out to SATCC or SIIT to start your apprenticeship on your own, Or you can also look at an employer to just start as a general laborer and just reach out to your supervisors and really state that this is something you're looking to pursue, and let them know that this is the avenue you want to take, just so that they understand. I know at Wright, like obviously we indenture people. So after 3 months, once you pass that probationary period, if you're a great worker and everything looks great, we would indenture you. So you'd pay the $200 to indenture you. And then the rest of your fees obviously are on you to complete, but we would help you along your way of your apprenticeship. You get benefits after a period of time working with us, and we issue layoff letters so that you can go to school during your times you get called to it, and then you can come back and work during your or between your apprenticeships. It's a 4-year program, or not 4 years, but you have to get your Y1, Y2, Y3, and Y4 before you become a journey person. But essentially just getting your foot in the door and start as a general laborer, really show your work ethic and get indentured, and then we just start the process for you.
That's really exciting. And a follow-up for you really quickly here, Brooke. Someone asked as well, what is SATC and SIIT? Would you mind just telling people those acronyms
Yes.
and what they mean?
So the Saskatchewan Apprenticeship is the SATCC. It's just a long acronym. And then SIIT is the Saskatchewan Indian Institution and Technology, I believe it is. So
Awesome.
those are just two different institutions, or one's an institution, one's kind of the accredited apprenticeship program.
So I have a question here for one second here, for Regina Open Door Society. So a client here has studied French in their home country, and they're kind of at that intermediate level. They're interested in going about becoming an educational assistant. So I guess, do you help people in both official languages, or can you tell us a little bit more about the language training and if they have some French skills in their job seeking?
Well, having a French language skill is, I would say, like an asset over here. So good that they have that skill. But like when it comes to, how they can seek the job as an educational assistant, we have, like a WES assessment process as well, in which we help our clients to get their credentials assessed through, World Educational Services, WES. So we, help them in facilitating this process so they can again come to our organization, our unit, to kind of get help with that. And then for their getting employed, I would say, we have different work placement programs. Like they are called as career bridging and enhanced career bridging program, as well as YES. So we can help them in, being a part of that program, and then go for their work placements. There is another thing over here. We also have English for Employment program, in which we provide job shadowing opportunity, and one of the program is educational assistant. So then we reach out to our employer community, our partners over there, and request them to host the work placements for them, as well as job shadowing. So they can do this way, as well as, so like doing that volunteer work placement would also, like, it's very beneficial for them, to kind of, understand the processes over here, have a direct exposure to the workplace, and, getting more idea about what they are signing themselves up for, and then kind of, demonstrating the skills that they have, drawing the attentions of employers towards themselves. And who knows that, the employer actually needs them in future after they come up, at the end of after they come to the end of their work placement, so they can be retained for their jobs as well.
Yeah, I know that's like a really in-demand job. So yes. I think it sounds like there are lots of programs to help connect you, particularly if you're interested in educational assistance. So you can reach out to Simon, Regina Open Door, to start that process. So one last question here quickly, Janet. I'm going to limit you a little bit because it's getting close to the hour.
Sure.
But they're a high school student and wondering if there are any skill training programs that they might be able to attend as a high school student.
It depends where they're located. So if they're located in Saskatoon and region, they can reach out to us. If they are located in Regina, it would be to the Regina District Industry Education Council. So if they can just search for that organization, they could apply for some of their camps that they currently have as well.
Okay. Yeah, so we can probably share that as well in the chat. So there were some questions that we weren't able to get to, but in like the interest of time, we just want to respect both the participants' time and the panelists' time. We will have to close it off, but just a reminder to complete a survey, which will be sent out to you at the end of this webinar. And if you complete that survey after, then the people from Career Services, if you have questions outstanding that you didn't get answered here, they will reach out to you and make sure that those questions get answered. So just make sure you fill out that survey at the end. So thank you again to the panelists for your time today, for your knowledge and experience and just giving your advice and the specifics about your programs. If I could just summarize it all, saying that there are so many opportunities out there, and the best thing you can do is just connect to somebody, either somebody who's on this call or starting with SaskJobs, just to start that process for yourself, and you never know where it could lead. There's really endless possibilities and opportunities to connect with some amazing career practitioners here all across the province. So I would just encourage everyone to do that, to take action. If you have a little, calling within you that says, I'd like to do something, make a change, I'm interested in this, the best thing to do is ask and to really start that process. So if you'd like to connect, you can call 1-833-613-0485 to connect with the Career Services phone number. And then the Career Services email is careerservices@gov.sk.ca. And I think we'll include that as well in the chat. So again, a reminder to fill out the survey, and thank you so much to everyone who attended today. It was great to be with you.